Hi, this is Leonard from Kosmic Sound and welcome to another of our series of comparison videos. Today we're going to be looking at field recorders. Now these are devices that can be used by a number of different types of people. First of all, probably musicians. You may use them for the purposes of recording rehearsals, performances. If you get into environmental recording or sound art, you may use field recorders to get yourself your recordings. Also for students, these can be very useful devices for recording lectures. In the world of business as well, for recording meetings, and of course DJs as well. They're a very good device if you want to record your sets. Especially in the world of digital DJing where you're already using your computer for performing, it can be a really good idea to have a field recorder on the side to get your recording of your set down. So some features of field recorders, most of them will have microphones in them. Quite often there'll be stereo mics, so really good for recording anything where you want to get a left and right stereo field, including things like choirs or orchestras, bands, whatever. Some of them will also have audio inputs for the purposes of recording straight out of a mixer or in from another audio device, maybe a CD player or something. And they'll record to SD card most often, and then you can transfer them to your computer for audio editing. So let's get into taking a look at some models. The first one I want to show you is an entry-level one made by Zoom. These guys make a heap of different audio recording products. This is their most basic one. It's called the Zoom H1. So the first thing you notice is you've got stereo mics in the XY position. So really good for recording heaps of different things. You've got your small screen here just for checking your levels and also making sure that you're recording in the right formats and such. Simple record button there. So you see there's not a lot going on this one. It's actually a really good little portable device if you just want something that'll fit in your pocket. Couple of other features that you've got on here. On the back, you've got 3 switches. So one's to turn on a low cut. The major reason you'd want to use this with a field recorder is often if you're recording outside. A lot of your wind noise will be picked up as low frequency noise, so if you apply a low cut to it, you can reduce that sort of noise. You've also got an auto level thing here, so if you're recording anything that's going to be very loud, or if there's going to be a great degree of variation in the volume of what you're recording, it can be useful to turn on auto leveling. So I generally wouldn't recommend doing this unless it's going to be something where you feel that you may get clipping. It can make the audio come out in a bit of a strange way otherwise, so use that sparingly. You've also got different formats you can record in. All these devices will generally record in either WAV or MP3 format, right up to 2496, and this one will do 320k MP3 as well. The other things that you'll find on here, all your controls are on the side here. So you've got USB connection. This is for transferring data off the device onto your computer for editing. You've got a few buttons here which just to navigate through your audio, for marking as well, so that you can actually mark points in your audio if you're wanting to use them for edits later on. You've got an input level adjust, so you can set the level for what you're actually trying to record. You've also got an external microphone that you can plug into this if you wanted to use a powered microphone. Little speaker in the bottom as well for monitoring back. And then probably the most important thing on this side is actually the input for your memory card. This one takes a micro SD card, so it's a tiny little thing, fits in the slot there. Generally you'll find that you'll get at least a few hours of recording on any of these cards. Finally, you've just got your line out, which you can use to actually output to speakers or just for headphones. So moving on from there, I want to show you one that I actually really like a lot. This is the Zoom H4. There is actually another model in between these two, which is actually really good for recording meetings and conferences. It actually has 4 mics in it, so it's really good if you put it on a table. It can record everything right around it, omnidirectional pattern. But we're going to move up to this one, which is the Zoom H4n. This is probably Zoom's most popular device that they make. It's a really nice solid device, rubberized grip, so that reduces noise that's transmitted through the device while you're holding them. Probably a pretty important point to mention with these as well, is that they generally will all have condenser mics in them, so they can transfer a bit of noise, so you want to keep your hand as steady as possible, or if possible put it on a tripod and not touch it at all. So just to go through the features of this one, I'll just turn the device on. So you see you get, it's quite a decent sized screen. It actually illuminates orange when it's ready to go, so you can use this in the dark. It's pretty good for any application that you might want to use it in a dark space like a nightclub. You've got your stereo mics on the top, again like the H1. The big difference with these is that you have a choice of 2 different angles. So you've got the 90 degrees mode, which it's set to at the moment. This is really good if you're recording just one sound source like a solo instrument. You've also got another mode, and you just twist the microphones like this into 120 degree mode, and it actually increases the span that the microphones will record, and this is very good if you're recording, say, a larger ensemble. Front panel, you've got a little bit more than you had on the H1. Most of the things that were on the side of the H1 are located on the front here, so we can do things like navigate. It's very easy to get into your file structures on your SD card and move things around. You can change the speed of the playback on this one, and this is really good for instrumentalists or singers that may want to practice with a backing track slowed down at first. All your formats are accessible from here as well, right up to 2496 WAV and MP3 as well. You've also got a choice here of inputs, and what this is, on the bottom here you'll see I've got 2 combination jacks. These can be used for external microphones, and you can also plug in line level devices and guitars. You can actually plug in a condenser microphone. It has phantom power built into it, so really good if you're wanting to plug in external microphones and get a quick recording on the fly anywhere that you might be. It also comes with plug-in power as well, so if you're worried about running out of battery while using phantom power, it's not an issue at all. Built into the device you'll actually have amp emulations as well, and a whole bunch of different effects, so it's really good for guitar players. So you have a choice here of where you want to record from. You can either record from the microphones, you can record from the bottom inputs, or you can actually record all 4 at once. So it's basically a 4-track recorder. A really good application for this is if you happen to be, say, performing at a rehearsal and you're running all your instruments into a mixer. You can run that mixer into here and also get a live room mic of the situation as well. So that's a really good application for the 4-track. A few other things that you've got on here. On your side, you've got a port for SD card. This can take up to a 32 gig SD card. You again have record levels, and this is very sensitive to get that record level very precise. All your menu navigation is really easily accessible from here as well. On the far side, you've got USB port, again for transfer to the computer. This actually comes bundled with a light edition of Cubase as well. Another feature of these is they can actually be used as a USB microphone or an audio interface, so you can plug it straight into a computer and record directly from the microphones into the computer. So this is a really nifty little device. It comes with a really good bundle of extras as well. You get a windsock, there's a mounting pole if you want to put it in a microphone stand. You get some headphones. There's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it. Another really good thing about this one is that it has a thing called stamina. So if you set this switch on the back, if you turn that on, it's just located under the battery cover. That'll actually give you up to 11 hours of battery power from one set of batteries. So really handy thing as well. So Zoom H4n, really awesome product. If you're looking for a pretty all-purpose device, especially for musicians, that's really a good one to look at. If we move on from there, we're going to go to a couple of Roland devices now. These guys make a huge range of different recording products, from audio interfaces right through to devices like this and multi-track recorders as well. This one is the Roland RO5. They're a very popular device. Mostly the thing with the Roland ones that you'll find is really good quality microphones. So you'll get a great recording out of the internal microphones on these. These are very popular in the media. Again, for conferences, you'll see a lot of these used as well. Few features on here. Again, you've got stereo microphones. You've got a couple of ports on the top here as well to line in a device or an external microphone. Tripod mount on the back, so as I said, really good if you want to use it in a stable condition like in a conference. You've got a few things here. You've got a switchable mic gain here, so you can get higher gain out of your microphone if you're in a quiet environment. Built-in limiter, built-in low cut as well, so again very handy if you're using the thing outdoors. You can get windsocks for these things as well, so you may want to invest in something like that if you're going to use it for outdoor recording. On the side we've again got USB for transfer. This one again is an SD card, so you can get the cards anywhere and whack it in there. They're very cheap, so really accessible for anybody. Standard record features are all there as well. This will still do 2496. There are a couple of little extras on this one though that you don't get on the Zoom products. This thing here, rehearsal mode, is really good. You turn that on and essentially what it'll do is set the recording level for you. It just basically means you can leave it in a spot and everything will be taken care of it for you. You also have reverb on here as well if you want to add a little bit of extra presence to your sound. You have speed adjust, so again really good for people that are wanting to practice back with something they've recorded. And you can do quite a bit of editing with this as well. You can set loop points, you can split the files in half. You can also do that with the Zoom products. It's a pretty standard feature of field recorders. But as I said, the thing with this one is going to be that you're going to get really, really nice recording quality out of these microphones, especially for applications if you're in the media or you're wanting to use it for recording of voice especially. Just one thing to mention with these, this is the RO9 HR, so this is just an upper model from that again. It's mostly got the same features. You still have the split feature, the reverb, the speed, everything like that. You're going to find that the microphones on this one will be slightly better. And I think the main reason for this is it actually runs through an analog circuit before it's actually recorded. So you're much less likely to get noise, and especially digital noise, on your recording. So this is a really, really fine product if you're wanting to get very high fidelity recordings, especially for voice. Again, in the media and anything, if you're doing conference recording, that's the perfect device for you. Finally, I want to show you one by Korg, and this one's a little bit different to the rest. This one is wholly centered at musicians. It's the perfect recording tool for especially a guitarist. Singer-songwriter, this is the perfect one as well. You've actually got a dedicated guitar port on this one. You've still got two built-in microphones, so you can still record stereo. The major advantage of this one is that you have unlimited overdubbing. So you can record things over and over again. It'll actually record each overdub to a separate WAV file as well. You can also simultaneously record WAV and MP3 at the same time. So if you wanted to have one for your audio editing later, but you also wanted a copy just to upload online or to send to somebody else, this is an awesome device for doing that. You still have effects in here as well, the ability to loop. This actually has built-in rhythms as well. So especially, like I said, if you're a guitar player or a singer-songwriter, really good to be able to get your ideas down anywhere that you might be with your instrument and use them for later on. So you also get bundled with this a light edition of Sonar. So you've got some audio editing software, and as I said, because all the audio is recorded to separate files, really, really easy to drop all of those into your audio workstation and then edit them. So finally, this one actually writes to a micro SD card, so you can actually put pretty large cards in this as well, up to 32 gig. Really, really good device. Singer-songwriters, that's the one. So let's just wrap up a bit. So Zoom, really great products for musicians. They'll do a bit of everything, especially this one, Zoom H4, very versatile. If you're more in the student market or the media market, you might want to have a look at a Roland device. And finally, for singer-songwriters, the Korg one is a really, really nice one to look at. Sound on Sound, don't forget the name. So we've checked out a few devices today. There are a lot of these different things on the market. We've just shown you a small selection today. We carry heaps of these things in stock at both of our branches at Osborne Park and Cannington, or any of these will be available online at kosmic.com.au.